Hey everyone, and welcome to Boss Advisory. Today we're going to talk about surviving an economic recession. You could lose everything if you are not prepared at all times for an economic slump. It happens frequently for people to lose their jobs during a financial crisis, which gives them the appearance of steadiness. They can lose all of their retirement funds and perhaps lose their house to the bank. All of these could have an adverse effect on your health over time and strain your relationships. When the economy has been doing well for a while, it is simple to forget about the bad times. But there is never a moment when the effects of slowdowns should be underestimated. Fortunately, when there is a downturn in the economy, there are tremendous opportunities for people who are financially stable. They may be able to accumulate great wealth as a result, much exceeding what they could have. Learn how to appropriately get ready for bad situations. As opportunities come your way, you can seize them. A recession, broadly speaking, is a significant fall in the economic activity that lasts for an extended period of time. This could be brought on by a number of things, such as inflation when prices increase and the currency weakens, or deflation when prices decrease and the dollar buys more expensive goods due to financing issues. These problems frequently lead to increased unemployment, a loss of consumer confidence, home foreclosures, and failed businesses. The stock market often declines as a result of investors losing faith, panicking, and withdrawing their funds. To improve your financial situation at any stage of the economic cycle, you must develop the practice of living within your means and controlling your spending. You invest for the future and pay off debt using the difference between your income and spending. Unfortunately, a lot of people get caught in the cycle of constantly raising their spending in proportion to their income, which leads to a never-ending state of barely getting by. When they obtain a raise, they spend the extra money right away on a new automobile or a bigger house. Their trip has already been paid for when their tax refund arrives in their account. The phrase living within your means could conjure up images of something monotonous or routine. But if you start doing this, your life will undergo a great deal of improvement. Did you know the typical millionaire has 7 sources of income? They depend on several paychecks from their employment to cover all of their expenses, including their vehicle payments, mortgage, and other debts, and they live in continual fear of losing their jobs. You have less cause for concern when your income is varied. When you combine living within your means with diversifying your revenue streams, you'll still be able to pay your bills in the event that one line of money disappears. The potential for one revenue stream to become a major source of income is perhaps the best benefit of having several sources of consistent income. For instance, a person with a 9-to-5 job starts detailing automobiles on the weekends and after work. Customers are waiting up to hire the car detailing company, which is a success. In the end, it pays far more per hour than a 9-to-5 job. With an annual income that is doubled or tripled what they were earning at their primary employment, they are now able to leave their full-time position and concentrate on their detailing business. In some circumstances, it makes more sense to pay off debt than in others. Simply said, it makes more sense to pay off high-interest debt as quickly as possible while making the minimum payments on low-interest debt, rather than paying off your low-interest loans as quickly as possible with every spare dollar you have. If invested, the money could generate higher interest than you are currently paying. Consider if it would be wiser to invest extra funds if they might provide a 10% return as opposed to using that money to pay off debt with a 3% interest rate. This makes sense mathematically, but some people overlook the reality that your monthly expenses will be incredibly cheap if you have little to no debt. When compared to someone who is drowning in debt, consider how much lower your monthly expenses will be if you don't have a mortgage, credit card bill, student loan, or auto payment. This puts you in a far better position to deal with dangers linked with economic downturn and a possible recession. Don't worry about the fact that you'll sleep considerably better at night. How many of your purchases have you since come to regret? Your brand new car, which has numerous mechanical problems, is dented and worth next to nothing. What about the timeshare you were sold while on vacation, or the lavish wedding you attended with 300 guests to wed your now ex-spouse? Spending money on crucial items that make you happy is perfectly acceptable, but the issue arises when people routinely make big and minor purchases without batting an eye. Spending money on goods that you no longer care about a few days, weeks, or even months after buying them is sure to empty your bank account. When you lose your job or your retirement savings lose half their value due to a market crash, you will be left wondering where all of your hard-earned money went due to these pointless, careless purchases. Your younger self will thank you for exercising caution before making a large purchase or carefully contemplating if you want to indulge. And by avoiding purchases that you'll regret soon after, you'll get more satisfaction for every dollar spent. It makes as though things are ending when the stock market crashes or there is a recession, as you are well aware. Will the situation ever return to normal? It's important to remember that the average recession lasts around a year and a half and happens every 4 years on average. Every 3.5 years, there is an average bear market, which lasts between 9 to 10 months and happens when equities decline by at least 20%, with a 35% loss in the stock market on average throughout these times. In summary, you may anticipate a stock market decline of around 35% on average every 3.5 years. But don't worry, it usually recovers in under a year. When your investments lose a significant portion of their value, it can be frightening. Particularly when you're getting older and it would seem hard to replace that money. Your hard-earned money is essentially dissipating into thin air. But these occurrences become far more bearable when you consider history and know what to anticipate. Keeping in mind that markets aren't always good or encouraging you to diversify your holdings and avoid anything you wouldn't want to own. When setbacks do occur, keep your leverage at a safe level. In other words, during all market cycles, don't borrow more money than you'd feel comfortable having. When the economy had been strong for a while, buying stocks on margin seemed like a good idea. But what happens if things start to go wrong? Do you still think that was a smart move? Or did you overextend yourself? What about your home equity line, which allowed you to borrow against a sizable portion of your home's value and left you with little to no choice? Currently, you can easily afford the payments, but what if your income were to drop? Although there may be benefits to borrowing money, you must exercise extreme caution to avoid over-leveraging. This can be accomplished by taking into account each market cycle. The more difficult the market or economy, the greater the potential for profit. Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, as Warren Buffett once said. When assets regain their all-time highs, investors who were in a good position to purchase them at a discount frequently reap spectacular rewards. Buying the deep is akin to timing the market and adheres to the fundamental investing tenet of buying cheap and selling high. However, timing the market perfectly may be quite challenging. It is simple to buy stocks with the goal of holding onto them for a very long time when you see a sharp decrease in price. You should only do this if you have plenty of money to risk on investments. A recession, however, can present a chance for people with extra wealth to invest, particularly for younger people who have little to no prior knowledge of previous recessions. It's tremendously easy to forget exactly how things appeared during those times. These difficult times are far away while the economy is blooming and appears to be unstoppable. A large loss in the value of your portfolio, a disruption in your income, and even the chance of profit from extraordinary market value can all be avoided by keeping in mind these situations and being prepared for all times. Contrast this to someone who is unprepared and expecting only a perfect economy with continual returns on their investments, since they may lose their home, experience serious issues with their family, among other negative consequences. Thank you guys so much for watching Boss Advisory, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and hit the bell so you get notified on every new incredible content we make for you. Have a wonderful day, and see you on the next one.